Want to welcome my beautiful guest, Joy from Lime. She is the Lime Legacy, and we're going to talk a little bit about the business of music, keeping the dance floor alive, because a lot of times it doesn't stay alive. People are just hanging out, socializing. The dancing is kind of second nature. It's not the main event anymore. You know what I mean? So
my heart.
Where did it all go to? But times change and fashions change and moods change and just, I get it. We were young and we did our thing that our parents didn't do. So it's the evolution, all that stuff. But, congratulations on such a successful career and building a brand that lasts the test of time.
Thank you. Thank you. Couldn't have done it without every single person that has ever listened to any of the genre's music or come out to see any of the genre's music. And we are so eternally grateful and appreciative and humbled by the fact that we still get to do what we love to do.
Yeah. So I was reading, is it true that one of the original members, I think it's Denise, that she passed away recently?
Yeah, she did. And so Dennis and Denise Lepage, at the time of the creation of Lime, they were married. Then they divorced. And now, sadly, both of them are gone.
That's unfortunate. Rest in peace, yeah. What kind of relationship did you have with her? Zero.
I never spoke directly with her. I did reach out to her maybe maybe 20 years ago. I think I reached out to her on Facebook, and we had a couple of messages that went back and forth, but that was the extent of it. Because when I was put into Lime, I choke when I say this, it's like 42 years ago, something like that now, 42, 43 years ago. The record label had already taken over. They had already bought the rights to everything. They had already removed Dennis and Denise from the project. And I stepped in. So I never met her. I worked for him. I worked with, everybody on the Lime team, so to speak, but I never actually worked with him. And I'm so sorry about that because, there were some twists and turns that happened and people getting involved who should have never been involved and gave some bad advice. And I'm really sorry that we didn't have an opportunity to do something together because I would have loved that.
Yeah. So when you took over, the reason for the takeover, the label wasn't happy with the original group, or what was the reasoning for you having to take over?
Okay, so before I answer this, I have to tell you that there's a book called The Legends of Disco.
Okay.
And it was written by a guy by the name of James Arena, and the book is still available. Okay. He did a series actually, but in the one book that's called Legends of Disco, he had 40 artists, 40 chapters, 40 artists. I was a chapter and Dennis Lepage was a chapter. Okay. So it's kind of like we have the exact same story because the story is the story, but it was kind of interesting to read from two perspectives, and record label execs and radio people and DJs. There are all these people that have information in there. So it's like, I feel terrible saying it, but it's out in print. And even Dennis admitted it. Back then, the two of them had drug issues. They didn't have what the label considered the look that they wanted. Dennis did not want to tour anyway. And not sure about Denise. I've heard two different things. She did, she didn't. And so they, at the time, I have a 3-octave range, so I could hit those notes. They put me in and Chris Marsh, and we became Lime. And so we re-recorded a lot of the tracks. There's our faces are on the, covers of vinyl that don't have graphics on them. They've got, Chris and I on them. And then that was it. That we became the faces.
So which songs were you responsible for recording?
Well, we had to go re-record, add vocals, okay, because the songs were already there. So when I came on board, really, we were breaking Unexpected Lovers. There's Your Love, there's My Love. We had My Love that was in that grouping of songs to do. And really after that, because Dennis and Denise had gotten a divorce, and Dennis was recording some other stuff under different various names. And there was no real new Lime stuff that was coming out. But there's such a library of songs that, we can get on stage for 45 minutes, no problem, and do nothing but recognizable Lime songs, Yeah,
there's a plentiful bunch of hits there, the ones that stick out for me and my Miami 80s and 90s club experiences, with two of them that I know that I heavily rotated was Babe, obviously We're Gonna Love Tonight. Angel Eyes was a big record. here in Miami. Those are the two main ones, but one that I always loved was Gold Digger for whatever reason.
We actually did that. We did it in Chicago. Oh my God! But there's like not, there's like no music in that. We'll get asked to do obscure things like.
I just like the name.
What?
The Gold Digger. Come here, Gold Digger.
We'll get asked to do obscure things like On the Grid or.
Did you hear that little rendition thing that I did of?
No, because I have to tell you, I had a dental emergency and had a tooth pulled. So aren't I talking well?
Yeah, you're doing fine. You're doing fine. I pulled up some footage. Let me see if I can.
Tonight, thank you so much, Mina. Thank you for your.
You know where this is at?
Whoa. That's a white shirt. It looks outdoors, so I have no idea where it was.
Oh, look at Rob, boy. He's wearing that bling bling. Look at him, boy. He's doing his thing.
What does that say? Oh, that says Eisenhower. That's Eisenhower Park. That's Long Island.
Yeah.
Each of the high end of 40.
Wow.
Which is
a lot of shows.
It is. It's, 2, 3 shows. What am I saying? 3, 4 shows a month. So,
Okay,
as I was telling you, next weekend I have 4 shows in 3 days.
Yeah. So if we were to compare the type of money that you were making, I don't know, let's say in 82, 83, or was that too early? Maybe a little later, like 88, 89, right?
No, we were out. 83, we were out there.
Okay. So 80, 83, 84, like when you first were like popping off, percentage wise, would you say that it's declined or is it still?
I'm going to tell you that it's better, but only because of a managerial situation that we were in back then.
Okay.
So we're more in control of everything right now. So,
So
that's the only reason.
Yeah. What would you say? And I'm not really asking you to give me exact numbers or anything like that, but what would you say would be a good year for a group like yours? Like, 2 people performing live, having to do the splits, not having a manager. Because in my podcast show, I talk a lot about the business of music, not only with artists, but also with producers, with DJs, with venue owners, with promoters, and all that stuff. Because I feel that it's important for people to know the real skinny on what it takes to survive in this business.
Well, we are very fortunate that we work a lot. So that makes us a little bit different than not all, but a good percentage of the people that I'm out with, okay? Lime we're able to fit into disco shows, freestyle shows, 80s shows, 90s shows. Because we are hitting so many different genres, a lot of artists aren't doing that. A few are like great at that, like Shannon. Shannon crosses over, you'll see her in all different kinds of genre shows.
Right,
so, she fits. So that gives us a lot more work. But even all of that, I think to be comfortable, to be saving for the future, you definitely still want to have another job. And at this point, you're always going to pay, a 10% or 15% fee to a booking agent.
Yeah.
For, before, we're 2 people, before we would split the rest of the money, or whoever we have to pay out of that, a road manager, whoever we're paying out of the fee. But look, I have been at this for such an incredibly long time that, like you, most people I go far back with, they know me, they call direct. So we're not at a stage where we want to be working with a manager because we're not looking to be recording and putting out new material because frankly, that's not what our audience wants to hear.
Okay.
It's not for us.
Yeah.
But it's not, they're coming because they want to hear, what they know and what they're going to sing and scream along with.
Yeah.
No matter how good the song is. I mean, we went back in the studio with Louis Martinet. I know a lot of my fellow artists have been in the studio and I've heard stuff and they're total bangers, but it's hard, especially if you're in a multi-artist show and you've got 20 minutes or, you never even get 30 really in a multi-artist show, but if you've got a string of hits and you've got to get them all in, there's no time for anything else. So you don't want to pick out something like Angel Eyes. And I mean, we do so many shows that we can't even do a lot of the songs I get all the time. Like You're My Magician is like a big one. People are always like, oh, why didn't you do You're My Magician? And I'm like,
because I'm not a magician.
There's only so much time. But can I tell you something? You want me to tell you something about you I was thinking about? So I had taken a break with Lime for a while and I wasn't performing as Lime. I was recording on my own. Actually, the stuff I recorded was with Louis and with Stevie B, right?
Yeah.
When I came back to Lime, only because it was like I got this freaky phone call and we came out and we did a show. It was the opening of the music venue when they first built the Hard Rock down by like a billion years ago.
Yeah.
And you interviewed me right when I came off the stage. We did an interview in front of the Step and Repeat, and you were like my first interview back after not being with Lime for years.
Really? Wow.
Yes, you were. I remember the interview.
I wonder if Charlie still has that.
It wasn't Charlie. That wasn't was that Charlie?
Are you sure? I remember seeing Charlie there. So I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe he was just there. I don't know.
I don't think it was Charlie. I don't think that was his show.
Okay. Well, we'll double check on that. But that's really, really cool.
Yeah.
That happened like that. And what I'm getting at is I feel that a lot of artists are leaving money on the table, and I'll tell you why. Especially with legacy artists. You've spent all these years building the brand. You have an incredible fan base that you're not monetizing, right? And when I mean that you're not monetizing it is, besides you having social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever the case may be, TikTok, cool. Those platforms aren't giving you your fans' emails. So you're not collecting emails first and foremost, right? So if you were to collect all these emails and you were able to speak to your fans directly in a form where you could show them VIP bundles, you can do listening parties, you could do virtual concerts and things of that nature, which you could still do on these platforms, but it's not like having your own ecosystem to your artist and sell your merch and all these other different tangibles. Have a subscription where people get to see you behind the scenes and see footage from, the way you prepare for shows and things like that. I just think that there's a lot of content and digital assets that artists like yourselves aren't taking advantage of.
Well, I think you and I are going to have a conversation later about being our manager.
Hey, it's DJ Sama, and you gotta be there. Another legendary Fuera de Control Freestyle Friday party at Cafe 27 in Weston. I'll be rocking your favorite classics all night in the mix. It all goes down Friday, July 17th. The biggest 80s and 90s high school reunion party. Let your body rock. At Cafe 27, where there's never a cover all night and free parking. Doors open at 8 p.m. Arranquen pa' allá. Cafe 27, 4690 US Highway 27 in Weston. We'll see you there.
Not even a consultant. I'm happy with that. I don't want to be a manager. Trust me when I tell you. But a consultant, yeah, because I just really feel that, listen, if they go to see you at a concert, that means they have a credit card and they will buy what they have a passion for. So that means that if you have other things to offer, more than likely, they'll buy it from you.
See, where you got me was being able to allow the fans to have more access to it. That's where you got me. When it comes to everything else, and if you're saying, a lot of us, you say, are leaving money on the table, that's because we're artists and we're not, we have to be good business people to a certain degree, but that's not where our brains are locked into, okay? Yeah. And when it comes to shows, I know some people, especially, post-COVID, in some cases doubled their rates to, for shows. Yeah. And Rob and I didn't do that. And Rob and I talked about it. We had somebody that we were working with that wanted to just play knock hockey with both of our heads because we were like, no. We've always been of the ilk that we wanted everybody to make money. We wanted to make money. We wanted the promoter to make money. We wanted the venue to make money because then they would do it again.
Yeah.
And the work would continue. So I'm not, and I've watched people come up with all this merchandise to sell. And you've got to have somebody, selling the merchandise or somebody in charge of, taking the orders and packing it and getting it out. And it's a lot. And the payday for it, it's not that big. So we'll go to shows and people will go, oh my God, do you have a t-shirt? So that kind of a thing maybe, or there are people
what I'm talking about is online though, selling online, not at the venue, brick and mortar. You know what I'm saying? There's digital ways of doing it where you don't have to do anything at all. It just sells for you automatically.
Okay, we'll be talking.
Yeah, it's plug and play, Joy. You don't have to, answer and respond to everybody that buys a t-shirt or none of that stuff.
See, but I would.
It's on, well, you can if you want, but you'll have everybody's email address, but it's on autopilot, sweetheart. You don't have to worry.
It happens when there'll be people that are on our team and we'll be out at a venue and someone will go and they'll have a Lime shirt on and they'll be like, where did you get that shirt? I want that shirt. Can I get that shirt? And we're always like.
And you splash that big ass QR code on the screen and you go, you want that shirt? Scan that QR code and done deal.
QR code put on the back of the t-shirt.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. And you're a walking billboard. What? Come on, girl. We gonna get this. I'm always thinking outside the box. I'm always thinking ways for artists to, capitalize and be able to live off of what they love to do, what they are excited to do each and every day, and that's to perform for their fans, right? You're a performer. This is what you do. And there's no reason. I mean, and that's only the tip of the iceberg, to be honest with you. There's so many other ways that you can engage with the up-and-coming singers that are willing to pay a high-ticket offer and pay a Joy $10,000 to find out how to be a better performer. Mm-hmm. And we'll pay that to be in a group coaching class. They're out there. You just
I'm telling you, Felix,
know that you're available. Yeah.
You and I are going to be talking. Podcast. Your next podcast is going to be a sign saying, sorry, podcast not happening this week. Still working on Joy. Still getting Joy in line.
But yeah, I just feel that somebody with all your experience and the way that you've built the brand, you should be able to, put it out there and make what's wrong with making $1 million a year? What's wrong with that?
Nothing, but I know this is going to sound like, it's going to sound very blonde, what I'm about to say to you. But it's like, I don't do this. I don't think about the money. I do this because I love it. I do it because I have so much fun. I do it because I get such an enormous amount of love back, and it makes us happy. And Rob's blonde too. So he'd be saying the exact same thing to you, that I'm saying.
Yeah, no, and I get all of that. But, just also think about how many lives you can change with more. You know what I mean? That's another thing to think about, because, if you're into, giving back to humanity and you want to be a philanthropist, these are great, tools that you got to your access that will allow you to do these things, or just build generational wealth for the ones that you love. I mean, so those are other things that you need to think about.
Right.
And listen, we got this big concert coming up August at the Hard Rock. Super excited about this ultimate dance and freestyle experience. You're on the bill along with a cast of others: Expose, Jody Watley, Samantha Fox, Sapphire, Timmy T, Trenier, who I interviewed already. She's amazing. Turbo, I interviewed as well. He's amazing. Noel, 69 Boys, No Mercy. Over 15 acts. Janice Robinson, love that woman. She is unbelievable. She got more soul than the word soul. Mm-hmm. Susie Carr just got added to the bill. Tony Moran, my boy. I'm trying to do some remixes with him as well. How excited are you? I know that you come to Miami, you do a lot of stuff with our buddy promoter, but how excited are you coming to the Hard Rock to do this show, to be amongst your peers like this?
Okay, first of all, this right now is our only scheduled show in South Florida all year. This is it. It's the only time. This is it. We haven't been down there January, February, March, April, May, June, and there's nothing scheduled for us for after. So we're really excited. Rob and I, we were just in California, actually, with some of the people that are on this show in August. We were just in California with them, and people were coming up to us going, "You live in Miami, right?" And we're always like, "No." People always think that we were in Miami, that we live there, because there was a time that we were down there all the time, and there were a lot more venues. So we are very excited to be coming back. We were a late addition onto the show to do this, and I am super, super excited. It's so much fun to do these shows now. It's way more fun doing these shows now than it used to be, like, back in the day, because all the artists, like, nobody's jockeying for chart position, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's happy, and everybody's thankful, and everybody is appreciative, and we all feel so incredibly lucky that we're still getting to do this, and people still want to come out and see us and have a good time, Yeah. So it's just, it's so much fun. I can't wait to, like I said, a lot of them I saw last weekend, but I can't wait to see them again.
Yeah, it's funny how that works out, that you're a part of, freestyle shows. You're a part of sometimes hip hop shows. You have found the way to weave yourself into other concert types, which not a lot of groups can do. I was talking to the 69 Boys the other day, and that's another form of, like the bass music. There's not a lot of bass acts that perform at these freestyle shows. So, he was like, yeah, man, it's really super cool that we're able to go into these venues and to be able to perform. And it's kind of like the same thing with you. There's
crazy.
Not a lot of disco acts that go into these freestyle shows.
It's crazy. We did a show in Chicago once. It was Rob Bass, us, and Fat Joe. We were like, who put this show together? Meantime, the show was amazing. Okay. It was amazing. So like, we're really happy to be able to cross genres, and they know us. It's not like we get up there and people are like, they're singing along. So super cool.
Yeah, you got to love that. Absolutely. So you're super busy these days. How's your health? How you feeling? How's Rob's health? How you guys feeling? What's your workout regimen like? Do you even go to the gym?
Bring something new to the freaking table. You know what I mean? Like, really do your homework. Figure out what's going to separate you from the rest of the DJs that are out there. Find your niche. You know what I'm saying? And hone in on that. Do your homework. Practice. You got to bring something new to the table. If you're just going to wait for the break part of a song and mix out of it, that shit ain't going to get you to the next level. I'm sorry, but it's not. You got to be unique. Produce your own music. Do your own mashups. You know what I mean? Find something original that you bring, even if it's from other songs and elements that already exist, but put your spin on it. You know what I mean? Find something that you can do that's going to separate you from the herd. That's the advice I would give to DJs that are on the come up right now. It doesn't matter if you're from Seattle or India. You know what I mean? If you're doing something different and people are gravitating to you on social media, then that means that promoters are going to notice you as well. And that means that you're probably going to get a phone call at some point in time, or you need to do your research and push your performances to these promoters and tell them, look, this is what I'm doing. I think it'll work at your venue. You got to sell yourself, bro.
How do you diet? Like, what are you doing health-wise?
I do eat very clean. So does Rob. Like, no processed foods, no fried foods. Like,
really, not at all. Not even on the weekends, girl. You don't cheat on some people's food.
But I don't like it. So it's not like
missing out
on anything. It's not my go-to. I'll go to an avocado before I go to a plate of French fries. That's just wow. That's just me. I have zero sweet tooth. You could put chocolate in front of me and it'll just sit there and green mold because I won't eat it. Rob cannot pass up a sweet. It doesn't matter if it's a gas station carrot cake wrapped in plastic. Rob's got the sweet tooth. So if you ever see me with a plate of sweets, know Rob is somewhere around because that's where I'm bringing them to. And you know what? Honestly, I think I look for times to be able to sleep more so than work out.
How many hours of sleep do you need?
Oh my God. How many do I need? How many do I want? I function on very little. I want double what I get.
What's little?
You know what?
3, 4?
I never sleep on planes because I just can't. And we're on planes a lot. Doesn't matter if it could be an international flight. No, I'm not sleeping until the plane touches. I have to help the pilot fly the plane. I'm sorry. I'm awake. So, but even if I'm home, I guess because, our schedule is so weird and with performing, I don't fall asleep before 1 o'clock in the morning, Yeah, I know. If you your eyes, I don't. And then the dog, my little puppy.
If you fall asleep at 1 o'clock in the morning, what time do you wake up?
The dog has me up 6:37.
Okay. So you're about a 5-6 hour sleeper.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm the same way. Sometimes even less. Sometimes I'll do 4.
Ugh. I hate it. I hate when I have to do that, but Yeah,
it's tough. You should get at least 8 hours sleep. They say you should get at least 8 to 10 hours sleep. I just can't let my body do that though. It won't do it. It really won't. I'll be like this staring at bed like I'm coked up or something. You know what I mean? I just can't do it.
So I'm famous for when we have long flights somewhere, right? I just did it in California last weekend. If we go to Europe, it's like I will get off the plane and I'll be like, okay, let's get something to eat. Okay, I'm gonna go upstairs, unpack, whatever. We'll meet downstairs for dinner in 3 hours, and I'm like unconscious until the next morning. So those are about the only times I crash is after long flights. But yeah.
Jet lag? Yeah.
My body just.
Yeah, no, listen, especially when you're not getting enough sleep, it all catches up to you towards the end of the week too. That's another thing that, there's one day where you just do you take a day off and just disconnect from everything?
Absolutely. Then that's going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow, I am not leaving well, first of all, it's like I said, I know it's really super hot down for you in Miami most of the time, but I live in Connecticut and we're having insane, crazy heat. And
why did I think you lived in Long Island?
I grew up in Long Island.
Okay.
Rob lives in Long Island.
You don't live in Long Island. You used to live in Long Island.
Yes. Rob's still there. I'm up in Connecticut. So tomorrow, that's it. I am hair's going into a ponytail. I'm going to cuddle with the dog and just scream at the TV watching World Cup games.
Okay. What got you into soccer? Well, what made you a big fan?
My son. My son was a little soccer prodigy. Thanks everybody and everything. And I kind of really got into the game with him. And, have season tickets to go see New York Red Bull and stuff. And, so it's just, and, he's gone. He doesn't live here anymore. He's older, but the love for the game stayed with me.
Are you athletic? Are you into sports? Were you into sports at all? What, growing up? Nothing?
No, I played tennis. I played squash. That was like my my sport of choice to play. But no, I am lucky that I can make it on and off the stage without coming off with a broken limb.
How many times? I know you told me you were married at one point. Was that your only marriage, or were you married more than once?
No, that was it.
Okay, and how long did it last?
I don't know.
That bad, huh?
No, I'm trying to think. Maybe like 19, 20 years.
Okay. That's a long time.
But, you know, when we got divorced, like, I didn't wish for him to get hit by a truck. I wanted him to get hit by the truck back up and hit him again. But now we are like the best of friends. And he's remarried and his wife tells everyone I'm the sister she never had. I consistently say this is not an episode of Sister Wives, but we're just like the best of friends. So
yeah, that's funny because when I interviewed Tina B, she said the same thing about Arthur Baker.
And my ex was John Luongo. So the two of them know each other. So if you look on any of your 12-inch records, he did all the original ones. So maybe
Did you ever remarry again?
I'm sorry, what?
Did you ever remarry?
You know, I am a diehard romantic. I really am. And, you know, I'm the person who likes to, despite this exterior, I'm the person who loves home and holidays and family and cooking and, you know, because I'm out so much all the time that I relish being home and I would be totally open to a relationship, but I never meet anybody. I never meet
anybody. So busy, right?
Yeah, I never meet anybody. And it's a hard lifestyle for, you know, somebody coming in to understand, you know?
So in a perfect world, would you say that it'd be better, you would like it better if you were less busy so that you would have more time on your hands to possibly be in a relationship?
No.
Okay, so you like being the way
I love being busy. I love what I do. It's very fulfilling. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything, you know, because, you know, I'm not married. But like I said, you know, yeah, have I dated? Yeah, but it's hard. Unless you're dating somebody who's also in the business, which I wouldn't want to do.
Yeah.
It's hard for people to understand, you know, it's like you're dating like somebody who's got like a regular Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 job. And then the weekends come and I'm like, see ya. And, you know, it's hard. I think it's hard for somebody to come into that.
Yeah. What else, other things excite you? Like what, aside from performing on stage and jumping on planes and doing sound checks, what other things excite you that you do on a norm?
On the norm? I don't know. I mean, I love hanging out with my dog. I love, if I could, like you hear about like the, you know, like the cat lady, I would be the dog lady. I would have like 100 dogs. What has been my passion lately has been everything that's been going on with these beagles. You know,
what's going on with beagles?
Oh my God. Don't even get me started. So there was this horrible place called Ridgeland Farm, and they were a beagle breeding facility for animal testing. Mm-hmm. And they not only they would just sell these dogs, and we're talking about thousands of them. They would also do testing on them, and they just recently their breeding license ended July 1st. I think they've gotten the last of the dogs out, but basically these dogs just are experimented on until they die. Like it's just horrible. It's horrible. Operated on without anesthesia. It's horrible. And as I started,
what country is this going on in?
Minnesota.
In the U.S., that's going on, and that's legal? Really? Isn't that like animal cruelty? Like what?
You would think, and now there are these activists who like broke in and they tried to get some dogs out. Now they're facing like 31 years of jail time each. It's just like a whole horrible thing. And there is actually a larger supplier of beagles, and they use beagles because they're such gentle dogs. Like you could literally abuse a beagle and it will not bite you. That's why they use that breed.
It's unfortunate. Yeah.
And so there's another place that's in upstate New York, Marshall Farms. I don't know if it's called farms, but they have beagles and ferrets and cats. So now that's like the focus has shifted on to that. It's becoming a very big political thing, you know, where I think a lot of like senators and congressmen and people are getting involved, because what they've proven is that animal testing does not, 90% of the time, it does not translate to humans. So there's really no reason
It's unnecessary
anymore. And so that's what there's been so much attention on that. So I think that has just been a passion of mine, reposting. That was actually when you popped up my Instagram before, there was something amongst all the shows, there was something about the Beatles. And so, that's been a passion and just, trying to help. You know what, honestly, if I wasn't performing, if I could never perform again, I would be somebody who would be constantly there at his top side.
Well, there you go. Man, this is what I'm talking about, getting to what your real passions are, right?
Yeah.
Especially, been there, done that type of, scenario that you got going on right now. If you had the luxury of being able to allocate your time to doing more of that kind of work, that might be something, of a transition for you later on down the road that you would be happy with, because that excites you doing, being an advocate for that. Right?
It totally does. And I have said in interviews a long time ago, some of the things that I remember, after 40 odd years of performing and being around the world and just all these different types of shows that we've done. There was a time when we used to go a lot to children's hospitals and things like that. And those moments were always, they meant so much to me. There was a year, and I can't even tell you what the year was, but it was a long time ago. And I was the Nevada State representative for muscular dystrophy. And I got to meet so many kids, so many children, and who had muscular dystrophy. And that kind of stuff was just always, it made me really happy. Because I was, able to put a smile on somebody's face or do something good. And
I see you doing a lot more of that. I think I'm opening up your third eye. I see you doing a lot more of that.
I hope so. That would be nice. That would be nice. So who wouldn't want to do more good, right?
Absolutely. So you're working July 4th. You got a private event here. Is this right?
Yes, we do.
Okay,
yes,
you got a private event in Jersey. You're going to be in Jersey.
I'll be in Jersey. Oh, I don't know if this is completely up to date, because you know what happened. It happens. You put something like this up, and then all of a sudden there are other shows that come in, and then,
I know Wildwood by the Sea's happening, so you're definitely going to be doing that July 4th.
When I said to you, next weekend, I have 4 shows in 3 days. Yes. Yeah. We're in Mount Carmel on Friday, and Saturday we're in Toms River, New Jersey, and
Jersey loves you guys.
Saddle something in New Jersey.
Yeah, everybody, Jersey this, Jersey that. What? Come on.
Yeah, the next day is Wildwood. You know what we're getting to do? I'm super stoked. We're going to be at, I don't know if it's up there, we're going to be at the Stone Pony.
Yeah, it's there. What's that, a strip club?
You don't know what the Stone Pony is? That's
it sounds like a strip club.
No, my God, this is I don't even know how to explain this. The Stone Pony
is the Stone Pony?
Been...
Hi, come check me out at the Stone Pony.
The Stone Pony has been in Asbury Park for I don't even know how long. It's really a rock venue. And so you'll have people Springsteen will turn up and do a show at the Stone Pony. Bon Jovi will come in. It's really a rock venue. But we're doing this Sunday afternoon thing with all these different DJs, and I'm super stoked. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Nice. So these are some of the postings that you have on your Instagram.
That was Spain. I think when you with the pan of the venue 2 back. I think that was when we were
just early on in the year. Some of the I'm sure you had a lot more shows with this.
Rob's birthday. I know, I'm so bad with posting. I'll post a month's worth of shows and photos. But yeah, that was Rob's birthday. You know where that was taken?
Where?
Charlie's Tiki Hut.
Oh, nice. Peace out to Charlie. We love Charlie. We love Charlie. But man, I love that you're so busy, but you're keeping yourself healthy, which is really important, because a lot of people take that for granted. And let me tell you, we only got one life to live.
Oh, you can't. I tell people I'm so boring.
Listen, most venues do not have a location problem. They have an entertainment problem. The night feels slow. The music misses the crowd. The lighting feels way flat. The promotion is weak. The room has no clear identity. That's where Sama Entertainment Consulting comes in. I'm Felix Sama. We help nightclubs, lounges, restaurants, and venues turn slow nights into signature nights. We study the room. We identify the right audience. We build stronger theme nights. We bring in the right DJs, live bands, hosts, and entertainment. We improve the sound, lighting, visuals, music programming, marketing, promotions, and customer experience, because a great night is not one thing. It is the right mix of energy, strategy, talent, production, and promotion. When the room feels alive, people stay longer. They spend more. they come back and they bring their friends. Sama Entertainment Consulting gives your venue a real entertainment strategy, not guesswork. If your venue has slow nights, empty dance floors, weak themes, or no reason for people to return, let's fix it. Book a venue strategy call today. Sama Entertainment Consulting. Let's pack your place.
I don't drink. I don't smoke. You know, I'm like, I must go through, I don't even know how much water when I'm performing. Rob will
I owe you a formal apology.
Why?
At Charlie's show, you told me that you were going to call me onto stage, and I was dizzy.
What happened?
And forgot that you said that for a hot minute, and I went backstage, and then you came back when you were done, and you were like, where the hell? I was like, Joy, I totally had a blonde moment, and you were heated, and I was like, uh-oh, she's been...
I was yelling for you on the microphone. I was like, where are you?
I totally apologize for that. That was
I get you next time. We have a show coming up.
I know, right? You're going to put... I'll go on stage this time, I promise. I'll stay right by the stage. I won't move.
But didn't Lewis come up? I think Lewis did come up.
No, he didn't. He was with me backstage.
So he didn't come up either?
No.
I don't remember. Isn't that terrible?
Yeah, he was with me backstage. What have you learned from performing dance music compared to other styles?
What do you mean? What have I learned?
Yeah, like it's more of an observation. Like, you know,
every 8 beats, it changes. Every 16 beats, the music changes.
Like, do you ever think about what would have happened if you did do a freestyle record, or if you did a traditional 80s house record? You know what I mean? Like another genre. Could you see yourself doing another genre?
You know, to me, it's all music. Yeah. You know, when I left Lime and I was recording as Joy Winter, I mean, yeah, Louis Martinet did 2 of the tracks on that album, and Stevie B did 1 of the tracks on that album. He sings like half the track with me, and which like most people don't know about. And but really, there was so much of that album that was way more pop than it was. There's nothing on that album that I would tell you is remotely disco. And maybe some were freestyle tinged, like the one I did with Stevie. But I think it was more of a pop album. You know, what I gravitate towards is anything that's got a melody. Like, so I've always liked singers because I love country music because there's such strong melodies, you know, that you can sing along with. It's to me, it's all music. You know,
what were some of your influences growing up? Like, what'd you listen to? Did you listen to country, like traditional country artists, R&B artists, Motown? What'd you listen to?
Loved Motown. I had a brother who was 10 years older than me. So I was exposed to everything because of him. Okay. Yeah. And so I was like 11 years old and I loved Van Morrison. You know, the Tupelo Honey album, I probably warped it before I was 12 years old. You know, like I loved everything. But the people that I loved listening to when I was really coming up, hands down, Tom Jones, Shirley Bassey. I loved their vocals. I got to meet Tom and get to know Tom when I was older, and I thanked him on my first solo album because he made me want to be a performer. So I was young. I don't know what I was, 8, 9 years old. I was at that age when you think the opposite sex has cooties, right? Because he had this live TV show. He had a variety show. And at the end of the show, he would, you know, come out like on a stage. It was like a live performance. And before he ran on the stage, he would always kiss a girl. And I'd be like, you know, I didn't want to see that. But I was fascinated at how he could make me feel happy or sad by what he was singing.
Yeah.
Fascinated me as well.
Kind of gave you the inclination of how powerful music was.
Yeah. And he made me want to be a performer. And I say performer, not singer. He made me want to be a performer because it was his performance that made me feel that way. So I really didn't know how to articulate it when I was younger, but that was absolutely in fact, there's a track on the album that I did for Epic. It was called Frantic Romantic, right? And there's a track on there called How Can I Be Sure? And there are all these samples of Tom Jones, like from his Live at Caesar's Palace album that they took and put into that track. Like he's introducing something and he goes, "My one and only joy." Well, how could we not sample that? Yeah. So I've got him in the background going, joy, 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 joy. I brought him a copy of it when it first came out. It was just like so fun. So
speaking of music and music rights and all of that, do you have any rights to any of the Lime music?
No, we don't own any of the publishing. We own the name, but we don't own any. Rob and I own the name, but we don't own any of the publishing.
You didn't write any of the songs or anything?
No. All those songs were written in the Lepage's living room and recorded there and recorded in their living room.
I know that there was a time where you were performing with him for a little while.
With who?
With Lepage,
No, never.
You'd never performed with him on stage?
No, I never even met either one of them. No.
Oh, then who was it that I saw you performing with he was kind of like awkwardly dancing?
Chris Marsh. That was that show. Yeah. So what had happened was, that show that you... Oh, I know what show you're thinking of. That was Charlie's. It was at the American Airlines Arena.
I think so, yeah.
That was Rob was already my partner then. Okay. But that wasn't the show you interviewed me.
I know, but I saw you performing on a footage, like social media. I saw it.
So what had happened was that was my first introduction to Charlie, because I had spoken to Charlie. It was like this whole hoo-ha thing happened, and I had been searching for Chris Marsh, who was my original Lime partner, for years, and I couldn't find him.
I want to try and find him.
I couldn't find him, and Charlie helped me find him. And it was Father's Day before that show that Chris and I spoke for the first time in, 20 years. And Chris has MS, and that's why he was dancing awkwardly. It was because...
is that what it was? Okay.
And Charlie reunited us on... Like I said, Rob was already my partner at this point, but Charlie reunited us on stage, and I cried during sound check. I asked for a closed sound check. I cried because I hadn't done Guilty live in decades, because every time I did it, it made me really sad thinking about Chris. And so when we did it at sound check, I cried. And I even say that during the show. There's a video clip of me saying, I couldn't get through it at sound check. But that was Chris Marsh. He's the guy on the vinyl with me on the covers and stuff like that. And he was the original replacement for Dennis.
We have the honor and the privilege of, for the first time in a long time, putting together, and it's a really beautiful story. I don't want to get into it afterwards.
One of my mentors.
I just want you to enjoy the music for the music's sake. But ladies and gentlemen, please help us welcome the original Lime on the stage.
Wow. So I could have sworn it was Podge. I didn't know, because then I looked at some footage of him performing, and I was like, maybe that was him. I'm not sure. I got to ask George. Yeah.
No, that was Chris. And I'll tell you something else about that show. 48 hours before I flew out for that show, I fell. I tripped over the dog gate. I had a puppy, and I tripped over the dog gate.
How do you even remember that?
I'll tell you how I remember that. Because I had to go for this intensive physical therapy with these gadgets that they were hooking up to my back. And the physical therapist called Charlie, who had never met me before, and said, you need to have a chiropractor at the show. Because this guy was big, huge with athletes. And he said, she's going to be exactly like one of my athletes. Showtime, she is not going to feel anything. But if she goes down on the stage, if she bends down, I can't promise she's going to stand back up. Because I was on cloud 9. But afterwards, wherever we all were, there was some after party. And I had ice wrapped in napkin, cloth napkin, all over my lower back. It was really bad. But it's funny. After so many years, that's what I remember. I remember the shows where something terrible happened. Those are the ones that stick out.
Yeah, no, we talked about that one time. I forgot what happened, that you lost your pants or something like that, and you had to make a belt. Or remember I showed you the footage of that, and you were like, yeah, man.
Is that Takata in Germany?
It's coming, the ultimate dance and freestyle experience, Friday, August 28th at the Hard Rock Hollywood, performing live. Expose, Jody Watley, Samantha Fox, Lime, Sapphire, Timmy T, Trinier, Susie Carr, Turbo of Snap, Noel, 69 Boys, No Mercy, Janice Robinson, Voice in Fashion, and Tony Moran. Hosted by me, DJ Felix Sama. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com, and we'll see you at the ultimate dance and freestyle experience.
The station the TV station was out in the middle of nowhere, and our hotel was like 3 hours away, and we got there, and my road manager forgot my skirt.
Yeah.
And I had this shirt on to match Benji's shirt, and I had a belt around it, so it looked like...
Yeah, you pulled it off. I was like, oh, that's a fashion statement right there.
Pulled it off, but wasn't intended, but pulled it off.
What Lime song do you think gets the strongest crowd reaction?
Oh, that's Babe We're Gonna Love Tonight, hands down.
That's what I figured.
That's got to be it. But then again, in Chicago, I think Angel Eyes is Chicago's national anthem, because the roar that will start when that comes on, and it's like we have so much fun with them dropping the track out because the audience is singing like so loud, it's crazy. And then, but you know, my favorite is Your Love, so I'm always happiest when I'm singing that one.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I said, the energy. I remember I booked you in Coconut Grove. You remember that show, the Coconut Grove show?
The one outdoors.
Yes.
The art show.
That was a great show. You guys turned it out. It was really good.
Fun.
And then I booked you in Miami Beach. We also did we did something at Lummis Park.
I don't
This
know.
was about maybe 5 years ago. This was maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Oh yeah, I booked you for that. I did a whole throwback series on Miami Beach. I had TKA out there. I had Shannon out there, and then I booked you guys to come out and perform as well.
I do remember that.
Yeah. You guys do so many shows. You can't remember everything.
And we were all out for dinner, and we were in South Beach.
Yes.
And we were out for dinner at an outdoor restaurant after. See, I remember.
Yeah, you do remember. Do you get a lot of people like honoring you and giving you awards for achievement and things of that nature? Do you
Yes.
find that gratifying?
Yeah, especially when we had the 40th anniversary of us performing. Yes, we received a lot of things. We got a beautiful plaque from Live Nation for being one of the only acts that is so multi-genre. That was because I got it they presented it to us at a theater that has a lot of meaning for me. There's a place out in Long Island. It used to be called Westbury Music Fair. I don't know what they call it now. The Westbury? I don't know. But those of us who were from Long Island, it will forever be Westbury Music Fair to us. It's a theater in the round, and the stage actually turns, you know. And I grew up going to see shows there with my parents. And look, I'm going to start to cry. I grew up there going to shows with my parents. My parents like loved going to see live performances. And I remember I saw like Neil Sedaka and Barry Manilow, like all these people when I was, little. I had family in Vegas, so I was always in Vegas. My parents took me to see like Steve Lawrence and Edie Gourmet and like all of these like old, performers, and I got to see them all. And we would go to Westbury Music Fair, and I remember I used to say to my parents, one day I'm going to sing here. One day I'm going to sing here. Yeah. And the first time we played there, I'm not kidding, I'm going to start crying. My dad didn't live to see it, but I called my mom after sound check, sitting in the house, and I was just like, I can't believe I'm here. I can't, after like playing venues around the world, it doesn't matter. It could be in a stadium. I could be in, but it was like such a moment for me. And it just so happened that that's where we got the award from Live Nation, like 2 years ago, I think it is now. And so I'm
sure mom was looking from up above with dad.
Well, mom's still here. Mom's 93.
Oh, okay.
She doesn't get out to see the shows, but I definitely felt them both.
How old is your mom now?
93.
God bless her. My dad's 90.
Were you a cocktail baby like I was?
No, my dad didn't drink or smoke or any of that stuff. Yeah.
I was a cocktail baby. I only have one sibling, and he's actually 11 years older than I am. So I was a surprise.
Yeah. You're lucky they didn't call you Oops. So your dad's the only one that transitioned. Your mom's still here.
Yeah, my mom is still here. So he make me cry.
Did you hang out with your dad a lot? Did he,
Oh yeah, I was such a daddy's girl. I was the ultimate daddy's girl. Dad was the one who like would drive me back and forth to singing lessons, and I did a lot of modeling when I was a kid. And so yeah, I was a daddy's girl.
I love my
mom, but I was a daddy's girl.
Yeah, that's why I do what I do, right? Because I want to be able to have time to have those moments with my daughter. Mm-hmm. So I'm setting myself up.
Like this. Boom.
That's why, you have to set yourself up so that you can dictate how many hours you work, so that you can go ahead and have those other hours to do the things that you really love to do. So you control time, and time doesn't control you.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
You know what
You're
I mean?
right. And I'm so aware of that now. I am so aware of that now. Actually, I was always present, but I would, I'd be like, doing some crazy show on a Saturday night or a Friday night. Yet the next morning I was at the soccer field. I was at the game, I was cutting oranges, for the kids' games.
You were doing it. Yeah, you were doing it. Now, when it comes to the relationship that you have with promoters. You know, I don't know if it's a mixed bag of nuts or whatever, but a lot of times, a lot of times, you know, you expect a great turnout, but it may not get what you expected. You know, the turnout, you know, is not, you know, like sold out, right? Does that make you feel a certain kind of way, or do you take it with a grain of salt and just keep it moving? Or do you give the promoter advice and been like, well, you know, I saw what you did, you know, you should have done a little bit more like this. You know what I mean? Do you give them advice, or do you just kind of, you know, it is what it is attitude?
I don't give anybody advice. If we did a show and say it was just us on the bill, right? And if it wasn't well attended, I used to take it so to heart and think, oh my God, like it's over. Like, you know, but we'll use Chicago as an example because we were talking about that earlier, right? So if I can go to Chicago and completely sell out a gig with one promoter and then go to Chicago and it's a different promoter and it's like hardly attended and I'll post pictures and I'll be getting comments with people going, when you were here? I didn't know you were here. You know, I stopped taking it personally. Yeah. And so what I try to do is post and push, you know, if it's a promoter that I've never worked with, or you know what I'm saying, like I try to put a lot more of it out there. But no, I don't give advice.
Yeah, it kind of makes you want to only work with promoters you know are solid, right? You know what I mean? Kinda. But you know, I've been at this for a really long time. I know a lot of people, but I don't know everybody. You know, and then there are people that are, you know, up and coming that are just, you know, killing it in their field, and you know, you want to go and work with them, or the venue that they've got that they're booking is a really hot venue, a great venue, and you roll the dice. Yeah.
You know, we did a show actually in Florida, and it was in West Palm Beach. It was in West Palm. It was in that downtown area where like there's a whole bunch of stores and restaurants.
Yeah, that's downtown West Palm. You know, they've got they used to have Blue Martini down there and all that. Yeah, City Place. Yeah.
So there was this restaurant type of a place that wanted to do a brunch, and we were like in Miami or something like that, like the night before. So they wanted to do a Sunday brunch. I don't know what they did. And I know that there were 3 major events that were going on. There was like a car thing and 2 really big music things. There was a lot that was going on. I'm not kidding you. There was this table of people that had driven up from like, or down from like Atlanta, okay? And then Charlie and Carmen and Rob's sister came up from, you know, where she lives. And I am not kidding you. It was the middle of the day, and I think that there were...
Hey, it's DJ Sama, and you gotta be there. Another legendary Fuera de Control Freestyle Friday party at Cafe 27 in Weston. I'll be rocking your favorite classics all night in the mix. It all goes down Friday, July 17th. The biggest 80s and 90s high school reunion party. So let your body rock. At Cafe 27, where there's never a cover all night and free parking. Doors open at 8 p.m. Arranquen pa' allá. Cafe 27, 4690 US Highway 27 in Weston. We'll see you there.
12 people in the room.
Yeah.
Us, South Florida. What? You know? And the promoter was like, look, I'll just, you know, pay you. You don't know. We were like, no. I know. I kicked off my shoes. I had no shoes on. And we were just sitting on the end of the stage. We were like sitting with the people who had come in, because you know what? There were a couple of people. Okay, I might be exaggerating. Maybe there were 20 people there, but those people had come out and exactly. Yeah. And so it was some kind of champagne brunch, and like the waiters and they were just pouring champagne. I mean, they were giving us champagne on stage, you know, and it was one of the funnest shows I have ever done. So if the promoter doesn't do their job, we're still showing up.
Yeah. You know, and truth be told, I think that a lot of promoters don't get creative enough in the way they create a concert, a show, an event. You know what I mean? It has to be more than just performing live, blah, 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 blah. It has to be an experience, okay? Let's start with the name. Let's start with the theme. Let's start with all the bells and whistles that you put around who's performing. Like, you have to create an experience. Don't just rely on the artist's name to sell the ticket. What else are you bringing to the table? Like, you gotta make it so that the person that's coming to see the show, the ticket buyer, feels like they're getting an experience, not only a performance. That's just the way that I feel. Yeah,
I don't even know where this promoter promoted it, because nobody knew about it. And it wasn't like this place normally had performances in it or ever had a musical act for a brunch. So it was totally, this was totally a new thing. And he probably never did it again. But we actually had a blast. Rob and I, as far as our shows go, we're going to bring the party. Like I said before, we're laughing with each other most of the time. If you watch us, sometimes we'll walk past each other and say something. We're constantly giving each other digs on stage and laughing, and which, it just keeps like up the energy. Or he'll do something and I'll look at the audience and make a face because he's like, sometimes we'll go into a clinch, like, at the end of a song. Then I'm like, he's like my brother, people get away from me.
Yeah,
Oh, he's sweaty. He's sweating all over me. And like everybody gets hysterical laughing, but it's a real genuine, reaction of make him grab me more.
Yeah, he's got a family too. So you guys also have to check with each other. Hey, are you good with these dates? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure there's been times where, either you weren't able to make it or he wasn't able to make it and you've had to turn down a date, right?
100%. There's one we won't talk about and we're not going to do it because it was his son's birthday. And his son is... this is Rob's second marriage, so he's got youngins with this marriage, and I think it's Robbie's 9th birthday. So and you only get so many of them. You've got those birthdays with them, and like that's it. And I totally respect that, and I agree with him. So.
Are you happy? I'm not asking you how much you charge, but are you happy with how much you're charging, or do you think that you should be charging more?
I keep being told we should charge more. Rob and we feel that we're fair.
When you feel that you're fair, you should be charging more. I'm just going to put it out there. You know what I mean? So, and you deserve it. And you deserve it.
I thank you for that. But like I said, we want everybody to make money. If we're not charging as much, maybe the promoter, especially, it's tough out there for a lot of people right now, So we are really honored when I tell you if somebody's going to spend money to come out and see us or us,
I get all that.
Whoever else is on the bill.
Yeah,
I get that. And we feel that we're being fair. And that's what we want. Somebody said to me, would you rather make the money that you make in a month? Would you rather make it in one show, or do you want to do 3 shows? And Rob and I, without even hesitating, will both go 3 shows.
And why is that?
Because we're out there, we're having fun, we're touching more people, we're in different places. You
love jumping on planes.
No, I hate flying. I literally hate flying. I am like,
Well, then you should have said 1 show.
So we were in California in April. We were just in California last week, and that's June. We have to go to California again in August. While I was just there in California, the promoter for that show, we were at the Toyota Center, right? And it was a huge show. It was completely sold out. It was just nuts. And I'm walking backstage, and the promoter comes up to me and goes, "I need you in October." And I was like, I'm going to go back to California again.
Long flight. Yeah. Yeah. Well, are you good with, because a lot of artists, they have a little bit of a disconnect when it comes to doing accounting and, taxes and all that. Are you good with all that? Like financially, are you straight with all that, or do you got somebody that really takes care of all that?
I am uber organized, and I've had the same accountant forever, and I just send it all to him and he makes sense of it. No, I wouldn't be the right person to be filling out a tax return, but I am very organized in everything that I give to him. So I keep like great records and, with the shows and the contracts and the expenses and all. I'm good with that.
Yeah, I think that's important for everyone to be aware that if you don't stay on top of, delegating how your money is being put away and how you're documenting everything, whether you're using an app or whatever the case may be, whatever financial app you use, but you want to Rocket Money, whatever the case may be, but you want to have something you can give a great accountant so that they can take care of your taxes, because Uncle Sam will come and ream you in the culo.
And my accountant used to audit for the IRS.
Yeah, so he's the right one. Yeah.
I will have no slip-ups with him. He will make sure everything is done correctly.
Yeah.
So he's my son's godfather. We're good friends.
Yeah, I could tell. Yeah, that you're basically in the family.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we're looking forward to having you down August 28th. Again, let's go put out the flyer, because this is going to be amazing. This is an historical show, because I don't even remember the last time Jody Watley performed in South Florida. So I think this is going to be one of those appearances that didn't happen since the 90s.
I performed with her in New York, and it's got to be 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It's got to be 20 years ago. So I'm really looking forward. I'm really looking forward to that. It's so funny. Timmy and Trinier, I was with last weekend. Turbo is great. I love him. He's just too cool for school. Oh, Noel was with us in California last week as well. Expose, I don't care where I am. I don't care what is going on. I'm in the house because I love them, love their songs. And so I can't wait to fan out and watch them.
Yeah, you guys got a lot of super fans that are going to come to this show. They're buying the tickets up, and it's going to be stellar. It's going to be historical. A lot of radio stations are promoting the heck out of it, so we're really pushing it. I'm actually doing a big event where I'm going to have over 5,000 people, so I'll be promoting it.
Oh wow!
So that's going to be incredible. Now, when it comes to super fans, what's one of the craziest thing a super fan has ever done to you or Rob that is still embedded in your mind and you're like, I can't believe that even happened?
Chicago, a man came to me with a wedding ring.
Oh,
at the end of the show.
Well, good thing he didn't have a gun and a wedding ring. Oh, you said no?
At the end of the show. And I'm like looking around. I couldn't get off the stage and I'm like looking around and security's like not paying any attention. There's all these screamers that had come down.
Yeah, that's a little scary, I'll be honest with you.
That one is embedded in my mind.
So how did that play out?
Somebody came. I'll tell you something else funny. They came and they got me. They kind of like, because like he had my leg too. So they came and they got me, and I and like he didn't want to take the wedding ring back, but like I got it into his hand, and like once I got it into his hand, I don't know what happened to it because I was like, okay. But we did a show we were upstate New York. I don't know where we were. It's like some kind of crazy place, and I had come off the stage. And the stage was like probably shoulder height for me, right? And this guy came along, this young guy, and just picked me up like the way you would hold like a baby, right? So he's like this, and he's got me in his arms, and security is literally like, like they're laughing, right? And Rob leaned over the stage. He was like the Incredible Hulk, Rob. He put his arms underneath the guy's arms who was holding me because all of a sudden I was levitating, and Rob actually picked the guy straight up with me in his arms and put us on stage. Think of the body strength that took.
Yeah.
He lifted us up off of the stage, and I was just like,
Somebody's doing a little overtime in the gym. Okay. I'm not mad at that. You better take care of little sister. What's up with that? Yeah. So why should someone buy a ticket instead of saying, I'll catch the next one?
Oh my, because you never know when the next one's going to happen. And you never know if the next one is going to happen.
Right.
Look, we just lost Victor Willis from the Village People. He just passed away 2 days ago. It's like, you never know. And there are people who decide to stop performing for one reason or the other. Or somebody like in the case of Samantha Fox. I worked with her twice in the past year. Both shows were in Spain, Barcelona and Madrid. She's never here, and she is so much fun on stage. So, when is the next time you're going to see her? Or had somebody been at my show or not come to the show that I did with Jody Watley like 20 years ago in Manhattan, thinking, oh, well, the next time Jody Watley performs, and I'm going to say with Lime, I'll go. Well, that would have been 20 years later, and and
you're never going to get this collective together like this. I don't think ever again. I'll be honest with you, ever again.
This is an amazing lineup. I think that it's going to be so much fun. And like I said before, we kind of all get to be fans of each other as well.
Yeah. And do the concerts do they feel like concerts, reunions, or family gatherings?
They definitely feel like reunions. Everybody's hugging each other like all the time, and it's a lot of fun backstage. It's a lot of fun, and everybody's very helpful with everybody else. Us girls who forgot hairspray, who forgot eyeliner, who it's always like something, and everybody's running to each other's rescue. So it's
funny.
I think that all comes across on stage.
So we're gonna fire off some quick funny questions here. If Gold Digger was a drink, what would be in it?
Oh my God. If Gold Digger was a drink, what would be in it? I don't know. Memory.
I think remember that Goldschlager that had the little metal that has to be in there for Gold Digger.
Did you hear what I said to you? I said memory medication. I don't know. Oh my God. Give me another one. Make it a better one.
All right. If Lime had a perfume, what would it smell like?
Oh, citrusy floral.
Citrusy, that's your favorite.
Like like those lemon fresh perfumes.
Yeah. Which fans dance harder, the freestyle fans or the disco fans?
The drunk ones. Which we encourage a lot of.
If Lime had a superpower, a superhero power, what would it be?
If we had a superhero power, and I'm going to direct that at having to do with performing, okay? If we had a superhero power, I would want it to be that we were able to continue doing this and seeing as many people as we can around the world. If that was such a thing as a superpower, I would love that. And I would love that for all of my fellow artists that are out there working so hard to stay in shape, to be able to do these shows, because they're hard. You got to train like an athlete, really, for these shows. I would wish that for everybody.
What is inside your artist survival kit that you take on the road with you every time you go do shows?
My little stuffed pink pig. I have a little stuffy. He's my little traveling good luck companion. That's always with me. What do I make sure that I pack? I don't know. Water.
Do you take a lot like makeup with you and all that stuff, or
not really? But I was never the girl who had tons of foundation on. I don't have any foundation on now. I was never the girl because I always was awful at it. That's really they're artists. I look at them and I go, how did you do that contour? I wish I could. I cannot wear false eyelashes. I so wish I could, but I am completely inept at putting them on. I cannot. It's just an impossibility. I have given up. France Jolie put them on me once for a show and it was like this. I couldn't wait to get them off. And she was like, oh, but darling, they look so pretty. And I was like, I can't hold my eyes open. So no, I don't, I'm not heavy makeup on stage at all.
Yeah, well, not that you need it. You got beautiful skin, so you're blessed. Yeah. What has music helped you survive?
Everything. It helped me survive a divorce. It helped me survive various relationships. Music is such a great escape. When I go back to Tom Jones, right? How he could make me feel happy or sad by whatever it was that he was singing, and I'm still like that. It has. I think when we allow it to be, music can be such a huge part of our lives. There'll be people that'll come up to us after a show and go, oh, your music was the soundtrack of my life, back then, and how great is that?
Yeah. A lot of singers take that for granted, but the fans really relish in that, and it's true. They go through breakups, they go through divorces, they go through loss of lives, a lot of things, and that music is kind of like that big Band-Aid that gets them through that transition. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, it's pretty cool. Last question I got for you. I know you left for a little while, and you came back. Why'd you come back?
Honestly?
Yeah.
I was at home one night and there was a show in Atlantic City and Lime was on the bill. And I started getting inundated on, oh my God, was it MySpace? I was like, this is a while ago. I started getting inundated with messages from people going, Joy, is this you? Joy, they're not saying your name. Is this you singing? Joy, seriously, what happened? It was really bad. And I just went, no. I spent too many years out protecting that brand.
Yeah.
And it just, I had, when I had my children, I didn't want to be, I wanted to be mom. I was the head of the PTA. I wanted to be class mom. I wanted to be with my children. And the reason for that was my older son was about, I don't know, whatever that age is when they first start walking. And I was up in Boston for a show. And my son, the kids are little, you'll sit in the hallway of the hotel and they'll have, they'll be running up and down the hallway playing whatever. And my son ran to my mother and said, Mama. And that was it. Done. I was finished because I realized, who would you trust more with your child, right, than your mom? And so my mom was always with him. And when I saw that was just, I was done. Seriously, that was the moment. But then, they were older, and I was like, no. And I actually ended up doing a show 3 weeks later in Brooklyn, New York, at this big club in Brooklyn, and it was more of a disco show. I think it was, Bonnie Pointer was on the show. I know Tavares was on the show, and Joe Causey was hosting it, and I came back out. And it was like from there, things just started spiraling, and everybody was trying to book us again. And I came back. That was why I came back. I came back because I wanted to protect the brand.
And how long are we going to protect the brand for?
Until no one wants to come and see it anymore.
Wow. Okay.
Remember,
we got some philanthropy work to do. So we got some funnels to build, and we got other things that are gonna bring in some revenue streams. So we'll see. It's more of a to be continued situation.
It's like we have been so lucky. We have been to Japan. Like I said, we've been to Chile. We've been all over Europe. We've gotten to go and perform in some really cool places, and it's just always so much fun. Went to Japan. I got to take my son with me, and we were there for a week, and it was so much fun. And we try to do that now, though, Rob and I, instead of like flying in, doing the show and flying home, we try to take like 4 days just to see where we are.
It makes it better. It makes the experience better, right? Taking advantage of being, at a faraway place and being able to see and sightsee and experience and taste foods and do all that cool stuff. I'm glad you guys are doing that. That's pretty cool that you're able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, there was a time where it didn't matter where we were. I saw the airport to the hotel, sometimes to a record store to do an in-store appearance, to the venue, back to the hotel. That was it. That's all I saw. Back on a bus. We would tour Europe, we were on buses going everywhere. So
when I worked with Telemundo, it was when we went on the road, it was like that as well. Yeah, we were in and out. And I was a lot younger than I am now, and I loved it. It didn't bother me whatsoever. I had that hit it and quit it mentality.
It was just super fun. But you know what? I'll tell you what it taught me. I could go away for a week and still just take one carry-on. I've learned how to pack really well and just what I need, Yeah.
Well, give my wife some pointers when you get a chance. Hey, Joy. And literally was a joy to talk to you, as always.
It's always fun with us.
You're always a sweetheart, and you truly have a lot of love for what you do and love for people. You're compassionate. You're caring. You've got a lot of qualities that we hope the world can, aspire to be. You know what I'm saying? Because we need a lot more love in this world.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I appreciate that, and I'm glad that comes through, because that's who I am. Just me.
Absolutely. Can't wait to see you August 28th. You're going to come down a couple of days early if you can make it. We'll go out to lunch and, just shoot the shit, man.
I am coming in the day before, and I would absolutely love to see you. Because the next day we're out super early the next day.
Okay. All right. Well, we got to take advantage of it while you're here.
Absolutely. So I can't wait to see you, give you a smush. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to put like a low jack on you. So if I drag you out on stage, I'm not going to be standing up there again going, Felix!
Yeah. Well, this time I'm literally on the clock, so I won't be going anywhere else. That wasn't my concert, so I was kind of like floating around. But yeah, I'm tied to the front of the stage, so you won't have to look far.
Love that. See, now everybody that's watching has to come to the show. You want a good reason, because I'm going to embarrass him. No, we're going to have fun.
That's going to be fun. I love being embarrassed. Anyway, Joy, love you, girl. Thank you for taking the time to get on this interview. Very grateful for that. God bless you and your family, and we'll be seeing each other real soon.
Yes, everything and more. Back at you. Big kisses.
Party people in the place. It's another Something A collective throwdown. We need all the Diamond Girls to take it to the floor, where lights, beats, and love unite for tremendo get down. Yo, John, tell them so. Tell them so. Tell them so.